What did Jesus say? He said, they hated me before they hated you. The great excites hate. Be ready for it. And most of it comes from jealousy, or the fact that your great accomplishments put theirs to shame. Their laziness, these losers, to shame. They hate you for it. It's human nature. I hate to be such a Machiavellian, but it's true. Machiavelli says, what do you need friends for? The more you do for them, the more they'll betray you. It's true. It's more important to have temporary alliances. Now that's smart. This is knowledge you're not born with. You have to learn it from the school of hard knocks. Remember that as our major slogan. The greats excite hate. It's just the way it is. But if you talk about it, the socials who say everybody is loving, everybody's good, they'll hate you for it. You kind of have to keep your Machiavellian knowledge to yourself. Much of hate is based on their fear. It's all about identity. They see themselves in a certain way. People see themselves against the ground of others. If they're in a group that is adoring for all of their crazy characteristics, and all of a sudden they meet you and you are truth, that will bring fear and that brings hate. It's just the way it is. Don't get drunk over it. Don't eat over it. Don't snort over it. Don't take a toke over it. See it for what it is, and as painful as it may be, it will bring relief because now you know how to act. Now you know how to plan your day. Okay? Don't let haters come into your house, just drop by to mooch on you. That's what they're doing. You live a certain way, you have entertainment a certain way, you have delicacies around, and they just want to come and mooch off you. But they hate you for it because they're thinking inside, who does she think she is, superior to me? And if you've helped somebody, that's called angry dependency. They see you as thinking you're superior because you're helping them, the inferior. Human nature stinks. Take it from me, a psychologist. Just be alone for a while and have happy, temporary alliances. And if you ever do find a true friend, realize what a gem it is, because it is rare. Like a person who's been to war. They see the truth of human nature. Or somebody who's been in a concentration camp. Victims of concentration camps were interviewed after World War II about their attitude towards people, and they said, well, you know, I may have friends or family, but I don't like people too much and never will. It's just the way it is. But the social generation idolizes humans above God. That's the problem. We're supposed to love God first and then our neighbor. But people put people first. Oh, they're all good. And they think they're loving for just taking crap. And they're always abused. That's not the right stance in the world. You should have high walls and vet people very carefully. And women, when you date, don't let him in your home right off the bat. No way. He's bigger than you. He can overtake you. You have to see things the way they are. Vet men very carefully and date for a long time before you marry. Sometimes I wake up in a trauma and in fear of the day, what the day is going to bring. That comes from the older you live, the more trauma you've experienced, so you just assume that the world's going to be the same today. Again, write a recipe based on the 3 obstructions. All success is attraction, all disease is obstruction, all recovery is elimination. The obstructions are people, habit, and food. Do a diagnostic test when you wake up in fear. Are there people in your life holding you back, insulting you, gossiping about you, false friends, fake family members? If there aren't, okay, that obstruction isn't doing it. Do you have a bad habit? Are you in sin? No? As far as I'm concerned, I am pure now. I'm as pure as a baby. I've repented of all sins. I am pure. Okay? Food. You got that right? Okay. Nothing to worry about. If you're a good girl or boy today, God will give you a beautiful day. If you're a bad girl or boy, it's going to be a painful day. It's as simple as that. Sin. It's a rut. It's a jam on energy. And it's a drag on perception. It gives you a gray roadmap reality. Not like the happy cornucopia you see behind me, but a gray, just unhappy, worrisome, fearful, paranoid reality. It drags it down. It's not the world out there. It's our perceptual apparatus that sees it. That is dragged down through sin, or people, or bad food. My husband says, Karen, it's like you've been to war. Yeah, I have been to war. I've been through a war all my life. People holding me back, interfering, jealous of me, coming around to get what I have, coming around to partake in the things I enjoy, using my home, taking things from me, ruining relationships. Maybe not any worse than anybody else, but I realized what was happening, and I was always alone with nobody to protect me, and so it was bad. It's like being to war, but that gives you perspicacity. That gives you alertness. You are now hyper vigilant. That makes you shrewd. And like my husband said, that makes me think you're really smart, the fact that you think that way. I trust somebody who's been through a war and understands what people are all about. Now, if you've been imposed on in your life, and it's hard to get over it, I have been like that for years. People kept coming to my home. I didn't have the boundaries to tell them to go to hell, and I would let them in and be a good hostess. I had PTSD for years about what I put up with people, until I finally saw it was my sins drawing them in. It's the law of attraction. All success is attraction, true, but there's a law of affinity here. If you're in sin, you attract bad. So the law of affinity can work both ways. Why was I attracting this trouble? Because I was in sin. I was drinking, I was using, I was smoking or snorting or whatever. I'm not afraid to say it because I've been clean for 25 years. But that's what was attracting it. Instead of having PTSD over all the things people did to you, work it back in your mind. What were you doing to attract it? And it will solve the PTSD problem. Work it back to yourself. Because if you were then who you are now, knowing this theory, having high self-esteem, seeing yourself as a child of God, a king or a queen, you wouldn't allow these losers in your home or in your life. But you didn't have boundaries then. Because you were in shame, you wanted approval. So even with lower company, you wanted it in so you could feel loved. It's just a natural process of sin. I had my meal this morning. I had strawberry smoothie, and then I had whole wheat bread, delicious bread with maple syrup on it, and then I had spaghetti with raw organic salsa on it. I'm full. That's it for 20 hours. The most important reason I fast all day is to be ready for people problems. The kitchen's immaculate, I'm immaculate, I've eaten, I've digested, now I'm ready for you. People problems, I've had them all my life, I want to be ready for it. I don't want to be down in the gut digesting. I want to have my energy up in my brain, ready for you. That's being a warrior, that's being a knight, and that's going to be a winner. People problems. Let's look at the wife of the alcoholic syndrome. The biggest maladaptation of the wife of the alcoholic is to get drunk herself. And she is so angry at his huge personality change with alcohol. How he starts to insult her looks and make her jealous and all these things. That she becomes a wild savage when she's drinking. And then everybody blames her as the alcoholic, when actually it's just a maladaptation. She doesn't want to drink. She's just copying him. The wife of the alcoholic syndrome is one of the trickiest because she gets much sicker than he is. The wife of the alcoholic gets so much sicker in an obvious way than he is from maladapting to the illness. She's the one who may end up in prison or a mental hospital. That's how bad it is adapting to an alcoholic. Wife of the alcoholic syndrome was the subject of my PhD dissertation because I felt it was so important. Or let's take another example of people problems. You're highest than you've ever been. You're better than you've ever been. Look back to how far you've come. And yet they hate you now. They hate you because you're getting better? That because you've changed so much better? That's an example of systems. They hate you because you're better. Isn't that contradictory? And isn't that human nature? If you're better than you've ever been, prepare for the highest reward for God. But it just so happens that just as you get so good and surpass all your friends, they cause you trouble, they cause you turbulence. So now you fall. Just as you're about to meet your reward, you fall because of the system's reaction against you. That's systems theory. Watch out. As you progress up the ladder to success, watch out for your friends. Not many of them will stick around. The funny and very characteristic thing that as you progress up the ladder, instead of being joyful that you're about to get your reward that you've worked for all your life, you're fearful because you're getting more alone. People are falling away. They were there to support you and now they're falling away. So you become more fearful as you go up the ladder. If you don't watch out, you may drink and fail. You got to be careful as you're going up the ladder. Don't tell people your plans. That's Machiavelli. Don't tell anybody your plans. Keep everything to yourself and be ready for that reverberation from your network so that you can continue to progress. Now your home, your environment. The environment of the superior man or woman should resemble a library or a monastery. Utterly neat. Go through every drawer and throw out 3/4 of it. It's the old life. Make everything orderly. This is superior. Not just because if somebody comes in your home and checks a drawer, they'll see, but because you want to resemble heaven. Heaven is clean order. Hell is dirty disorder. You don't want that at all. You want utter order. I gave away 3/4 of my belongings. I went through the basement. You know, people's basement is a catch-all, and it becomes just an utter mess after a couple of years. I went through and took everything to the thrift store. I got rid of just about everything, and then made everything very neat. The quintessential, the most essential I kept in perfect order. And I went through every drawer in the house, every closet. I gave away so many clothes I didn't need. Things that were anachronisms, suitable to a previous time, but not this time. I've progressed. I wanted just the most essential things in my life. That's your environment. And if you make your environment like that, it will attract the same. Magic homes attract what they are. And then that's magic synchronicity. Food preparation. Just you. Be like Howard Hughes, a germaphobe. Don't let other people prepare your meals. Think about it. You don't know it. I don't want anybody preparing my meals. I never accept dinner invitations. I never go to restaurants anymore. I don't know about them. I don't know about the cook. I don't want anything to do with anybody preparing my meals. That is totally personal. I like preparing my own meals, and that's it. And you should be the same.